Thank you, Arun and Deepak. Thank you so much. I can only say from my end, every time I listen to you and Deepak, I carry forward more learnings. And every time I go through that learnings, I feel that I'm every time gaining more knowledge. Whether that is part of EKG or whether that's part of EDE, I don't know. But my knowledge garden is absolutely enriching every day. Arun, before I jump onto questions around, and there has been a lot of questions which came in, so I think both of you have created quite an excitement in the audience. But before I jump into purple fabric related question, Arun, this is for you. This is more on design thinking. And it's a very pointed question which came out, and I thought I will take it up first. What are, from a design thinking perspective, what are typical questions to begin with end in mind for design consideration, compliance approvals? Appreciate your inputs, please, as most projects are stuck in POC due to this.
Beautiful. I think this is the biggest boulder to blast, which I mentioned in the beginning, compliance boulder. I think when you're sitting in a design thinking workshop, we call it no agenda meeting. In design thinking workshop, we don't define the agenda. A lot of time, we believe we know it. When we come as a team in design thinking workshop, first of all, it's a unmukt process, I call it, unlearning process. You need to start with the unlearning process and then discover the agenda during the meeting. A simple circle time, what problems are going to be there. If you do one circle time, we do a circle time where everybody says what is the best thing happening in the institution or enterprise and what one thing they want to change. That particular thing creates a list of the items which they can focus at. And there the compliance needs will be significantly large if that is coming agenda, or if operation, there is a hurdles in a few in enterprise, there is a hurdle in acceptance at leadership level. There is a belief system of the people that, oh, AI, it won't work for me. There are still no sayers of AI. They say, okay, prove it to me, it works for me. So now we need to look at it how in design thinking workshop, the mental models can be shifted. It's a big change. It's the same change which happened during the internet era. In 1995, internet came in. By the time good internet banking came in, it was 2001. It took 6 years for banks to adopt internet for really making some internet banking. People say, oh, banking will be done in branches only. It will not be done in internet. Same thing is happening in AI world today. And this no sayers mental model, we need to look at it. How do we change the mental model of no sayers? That's why strategic roadmap is important and design thinking workshop is important because it revolves around desirability, feasibility, viability. It revolves around mystery, heuristics, algorithm, and it revolves around pattern, anti-pattern, connecting the dots, and that will make the workshop effective.
Thank you, Arun. The next one is to you too. And there's a lot of buzz in the audience around EKG because the concept is quite enriching. And this is one very interesting question, and I thought I will take it up. EKG in future, could we see a knowledge garden that does not just answer questions, but proactively surfaces insights that humans have not yet thought to seek?
This for Deepak?
Any one of you can answer. I have no issues with that.
Sure. I think what is the opportunities, like as you write, like someone who has asked it, it will start with probably collecting the information that is over there. But one of the biggest power of EKG is in any organization, what exactly is happening, no one has a view. And most of the time, it is a very reactive approach and all. And if you see that always there's like, if you apply the Pareto principle 80-20, there is a 20% of the people who pretty much has the most of the key organizational knowledge for them, for any organization success. The question is, with the pace at which the change happens, the decisions are made, if that intelligence is captured, it will become far more unified. It is not only the like Arun nicely says it is a what is the tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. So the EKG really helps in terms of capturing that particular tacit knowledge which is there with those few people who really kind of make a significant impact to the organization. And another important thing is the 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 business is evolving so fast, and the demographics are evolving so fast. What makes it successful, why certain products are getting sold or anything, I think the chances of really capturing that particular knowledge in a near real time and making it available in a very unified way across an organization, that's where the EKG, I think probably that's where the EKG will go and all. So first capture what you have and ground it in such a way it is in the context of an organization, and then continue to capture that particular tacit knowledge, especially for key decisions. And how do you correlate it, how do you unify it, and how do you make it available? So the biggest value of this particular approach is how you can increase the not just the capacity, but also the competency of an average employee of an organization to the level of some of the best employees in our organization. I think that's where the EKG plays a big role when it's completely takes its true shape and form.
Yeah, Deepak, just I want to add, it's not 20% who knows the knowledge. Most of the organizations run only 5% of the people who knows the knowledge of the full enterprise. Yeah. This 5% people are so organizations dependent on.
Yeah.
And this 5% is so risky for the organization. When anybody leaves the company, he takes away the knowledge, substantial knowledge, and it takes some time for the enterprise to. Yep. So it's a risk management. Enterprise knowledge garden is a risk management. Yep. Simple tacit knowledge of minutes of meeting, yep, of a project management. Yep. Typical large project would have gone through some 100 meetings. Now these 100 minutes of meeting are nowhere in the system. It's always put in a folder, but I don't have a knowledge and I don't have a GPT for those areas. So this enterprise knowledge garden is essential, and it's a boon to me that it has got all the project management knowledge. If tomorrow I have a conflict with a customer, yeah, this enterprise knowledge garden minutes of meeting can be pulled out the way you are pulling out in your customer complaint investigation. Yeah. Oh, this document on this date, we have given it. It's available with a document marker on it. And that exactly can be given in project management.
I think well said, Arun. In fact, right, I mean, one of the major industries that we're working is the commercial insurance in US. While everyone is worried about the job losses because of AI, their biggest worry is their underwriters are getting retired, and not many people are coming into the workforce into this important kind of a work stream. And they want to use the EKG to capture that particular tacit knowledge of the successful underwriters and make it available for the future for the business to continue. In fact, it's a business continuity problem. It is not a job loss problem.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you, both of you. Arun, this question is to you. I think in one of the boards which you had, you presented, you talked about the 4 key tech stacks. And this is a very interesting question where it has come out and they have asked a very pointed question back to us. Is that, do you have a module-wise solution? Can I pick up 1 tech stack or 2 stacks and move forward in the journey and probably adopt at a later stage? So it's a progressive adoption piece which they're talking about.
Yeah, to me, it's possible because we will be installing the full tech stack. You may give a license on 1 tech stack at a time, but we'll be installing the whole 4 stack because they connect with each other, because it's a connected system on Purple Fabric on the 4 tech stack, but you can consume 1 at a time. Anyway, it's an open enterprise system where license comes free as a platform. It's only the support cost we charge on the similar lines as JBoss or OpenShift basis. So you don't have additional cost to pay for consuming a particular tech stack separate from each other. We will recommend it should go together, but you can start consuming one more than the other.
Great. Thanks, Arun. Deepak, this is to you. Appreciation, first of all. This is a great overview and great pitch today. Can this be customized for areas that require market and financial analysis?
Sure. I think, so, again, the beauty of the platform is while we have showed certain out-of-box experts and all, but the reality is every enterprise needs are different, every workflow is different, and what are the data sources they want to consider and all. So the one of the important reason why we have built a problem is this particular platform is we have this insight on, especially for AI to work, it is actually the person who knows the domain, who knows the data, should be in charge of the building in AI and managing the AI. So the whole platform is a kind of a completely a low-code, no-code platform where pretty much a domain expert or a SME can really kind of a contextualize the agents, the data sources to their workflow, to their need for them to get a right outcome. So the answer is yes, that's the power of a platform is how you can integrate your internal sources, external sources, and bring in the domain expertise of your enterprise and contextualize to the outcome that you're expecting.
Thanks, Deepak. Deepak, this next one is to you too, and this is from the one of the four tech stacks, which is about enterprise digital experts. And the question is, in the banks, there are very clear hierarchies and approval chains, junior analysts, senior officers, risk committees. How do digital experts integrate into these existing structures? So this is about multi-structure and approval and the process flow which they are talking about.
No, I think that's a fantastic question because this is where I think probably you will understand the power of a platform. Because while many people ask what is the differentiation of this platform, there are already co-pilots there and other things. If you see the kind of a work that we have done for the last 8 to 10 years, we have focused on the operations use case in a highly regulated industry. And in these industries, no decision will be made by the one person or one individual or a one particular division. It will be across the division, across the personas, so that there is a maker-checker process in place in each of them. So the beauty of the platform is actually it will help you to create a digital twin of not only your operations team, but also your workflow in a way where we support, because certain areas, again, like any bank, who need to be involved, what the personas. So we can create a digital expert for each persona, and also we can also create a hierarchy. Somewhere it should be a supervisor, somewhere it should be more of a network structure, and so whatever the custom structure that is required for an enterprise and to meet their complexity, that can be created within the platform, and that is where we differentiate in terms of what it takes in a highly regulated industry for anyone to make a critical decisions, and how to really create a digital twin of those particular workflows as well as teams is possible within the platform.
Thanks, Deepak. Arun, this is for you. What are the primary domains where Purple Fabric's platform can be applied?
I think when I talked about human intelligence and artificial intelligence, wherever human intelligence can be applied, Purple Fabric can be applied, as simple as that. Because everything is related to certain skills. The skills translate to expertise. You have a certain perspective, which is where when we design the agent, we build the perspective, his intent, what is the imagination of agent, what empathy of agent, what is the experiences we built into it. We build up the traits, whether he's a sales side, he's a compliance side, he's a operation side. So those are the behaviors we encode into the system, and this can be applied, let's say, in the construction industry when you are taking a bill of material of the particular building, or project management life cycle to be looked at it where the nudges to be there. So whatever project manager can imagine himself, it's a tool for him who is sitting next to him. He can have 3 assistant or digital assistant to him or digital expert with him. So he has a team of 4 people to work with him. And that's where the culture shift is important in the organization. Today we are saying, my consultant should build agents. To me, consultants can help you build the agent, they can facilitate you build the agent, but the actual output come in when 100 managers can augment their capacity and they perform better by using Purple Fabric as a. Now this is a big transformation in the mental model, because today the biggest challenge we get after the age of 45, 50, the new learning becomes difficult, and we need to make the people slightly uncomfortable and vulnerable to learn something about AI. And once they are vulnerable and they are learning something new, I keep on telling internally in the intellect, in 3 years' time, if you're not your AI quotient is less than 9 out of 10, then I think you have to find some other opportunity for yourself.
Thank you. Deepak, this is for you. A lot of questions have come around, and there are 2 parts to this question, so I'm going to give you both the parts and you can answer those. One is around data security. How Purple Fabric is ensuring data security. That's one part of the question. The second part is hallucination. How does Purple Fabric assures that the hallucinations are taken care of? These are the two parts which have multiple questions have come.
Sure. I think first thing is what does that the data security means at every touch point kind of a thing. Like what does that the encryption that we need to put in place, what is required for any particular platform. Forget about this an AI platform and all. That all is in place from that when the data is in rest, data is in a transit and all other things. That is the first part. Second part is this particular platform is one for a banks and a financial services. It is the option is it can be deployed within their virtual private cloud, so it is within their perimeter, and also all the whatever the subscription, whether from an LLMs and everything that happens within their cloud provider, whether it is an Azure, whether it is an AWS, or probably within their internal models, kind of a thing. So that way, everything sits within the bank, the financial services secure parameters for them. Second, we have our own the security and the governance layer from a PI masking to the toxicity, everything. Because reason is in this scenario, we are expected to deal with a different models which are at a different level of a maturity kind of a thing. So what is required for the bank to really put their particular the guardrails and the guide rails for that? So it is an enterprise policies are defined. They will have a way to define. By default, we'll bring in something out of box, but we also given opportunity for the banks to really kind of create their own configurations and all. And in this scenario also, one thing that we need to understand is the expectations of the banks will be different, because while some people want to blacklist, some people want to whitelist. Means, for example, we are working with one of the largest bank. For them, the use case is a financial crime. So really they want to they don't want to blacklist certain things. They want to whitelist so that they can really identify the financial crimes better and all. While this is all like helps you to really put a kind of a perimeter at every level and also contextualize it to your policies and all. And same thing is we do at our side when we also host as a PF Cloud. We have all the particular security certification in place, and we have a third-party auditors who actually does all the possible testings to certify the platform kind of a thing when things are hosted on the PF Cloud. Now coming to the hallucination, this is where we have a way to constantly benchmark. So one of the important capability that we didn't got chance to cover is a LLM benchmarking and all. So for every use case, whether it's an expert or it's a multiple agents or anything, we provide a way to benchmark not only from a cost, accuracy, latency, but also on the whole hallucinations and everything and all. So especially to how do you prove that it is really bringing only from the grounded data, or it is actually kind of where it is not supposed to bring in the LLM intelligence, whether it is actually bringing in or not and all. So we have a way to measure whether the hallucination is happening. And while this is not only while you want to benchmark and roll out an expert agent or the agents, but also in live what is happening, because for any reason is things are getting changed or not and all. In fact, in the recent case, we have seen, I think one of our leader has put in a statement where some of the hallucination problem, what the cloud provider could not solve, we have solved for ourselves so that we ensure that our use cases are completely kind of grounded in the enterprise knowledge. And this is where our historical work that happened in the AI brings in a lot of insights for us on how we can foresee what the challenges are and how we are actually prepared to be qualified in what does it mean for not only enterprise grade, but also what does it mean for a regulatory industry. So everything we have a way to quantify and also measure during the build, during the deployment, and also on a continuous basis through the observability stack that we have.
Thanks, Deepak. Next questions have been, because the second last board was around deployment, and these questions are predominantly on deployment, very specific, and I'm clubbing the three and seeking an answer from you. Can we deploy PF on-premise? Can we deploy LLM on-premise? Our concern is with regards to data security. I know you handle it, but this is a little different question. That's the reason I thought I will put it across to you.
Sure. Again, this can be, as Arun has already covered that all, at this moment, this can be deployed on the virtual private cloud of the bank and all. And when we say it is deployed, the data goes out and all, this is where we work very closely with both Azure and the AWS to help you out with all the security concerns that you have. Because in this case, we are deploying in the bank's VPC, not our VPC and all. Obviously, we have our private cloud also for a certain use cases. And also, what is the security posture that need to be validated, and how do we prove that how the data resides, and how actually, whether it's not only just residing within the country, where the LLMs are hosted, and how that particular, the guarantees can be provided by this cloud provider, even though within your VPC, the data is not being used for a retrained or any training or any of those things. All those things, along with the cloud provider, we help the respective banks and financial services to clarify all their security thing. Because in this case, the one thing that we want to highlight is, one, we are not using any public LLMs, and these are the LLMs that are subscribed to the bank within their VPC. Second, they all meet the data residency and all the regulations that are expected by the banks, kind of a thing. Third, what also is the power of our platform is, if someone has their own LLMs which are kind of a customized, they can just integrate it, because for us everything is an API, so they can actually bring in their own LLMs and then integrate and all. So if bank already has approved LLMs, the platform just helps them to really integrate and serve any particular use case, as long as those LLMs are qualified to really serve the complexity of the use case.
Arun, this is probably the last question, because we are coming to the clock, and then I will hand over to both of you for closing remarks. But this was interesting, so I thought I will take it up. Whether Purple Fabric can be directly used by bankers to create a bank, and intellect plays a role of enabler.
Sure. And then I think there's a lot of possibilities are there. I think we need to spend some time on the Purple Fabric, the eMAG.ai. Creating a bank is the real possibility. That's not a, and to me, if you have first principle-based, zero-based architecture on eMAG.ai to create a bank, we can launch in 4 to 6 months' time, end-to-end. So you're welcome to have this kind of option available to us, because using on existing infrastructure, which is having the 10 customer master, and you have a multiple, every product has its own customer master. To me, there should be only one customer 360, and that's where I need to have the domain behavior, domain objects from there to translate into the newer system. But obviously, we need to work with the existing system, and Purple Fabric has been designed for working with, integrating with the existing system, where we are consuming data as a service, knowledge as a service, and making applications where Purple Fabric API can be consumed, and very transparently, like we consume API, the way we consume microservice using API call, same way I can consume Purple Fabric API, and that's the beauty of it. So you will enjoy it, because I would see that all your functional managers should be creator of the agents, not only the consumer of the agents. Then is a real time when the value of AI will come to you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Deepak. I think it was energizing, and it was learning session. And it was pleasure once again for being the moderator and host today. Open for any closing remarks before we close the session.
Just thank you very much for listening for 2 hours. It's the longest masterclass. Normally in Zoom, you don't attend more than 1 hour of the call. We look at it, since its topic is a complex topic, slightly new topics, where everybody is working on it and learning together. So it's a great journey we are going through, and with each customer we are learning new. With each partner of us who is the IT service provider who is using Purple Fabric to go to market, each consulting firm who is our partner who are taking us to their customer using Purple Fabric, we are want to work with all of them, and each one is bringing a new learning on everyday basis. Deepak, any last?
No, I think it's an exciting times to be. I mean, like everything is up for reset. Like as Arun said, it's exactly the 95, 96 moment of internet, where completely the new banks, new financial services, new business models evolved because someone has thought in an internet first approach, later mobile first approach. But this is much bigger than that. What is that AI first approach? What is that AI native approach? How you can actually reimagine and create a new business models. I think it's a great opportunity. And I think, again, thanks for your time. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Arun.
Appreciate it.